How do you get positions on new coins? Do you take profits on old positions, or do you always have cash coming in? I mean, me personally, I have cash that I make. I have sponsorships. I actively trade to get more money so I can buy more crypto usually and things like that. But you know, if you're all in, it can be difficult. But yeah, you can rebalance your portfolio. So like, let's say you have 100K to trade with and you do not have any new money coming in, right? And you're like, okay, well, I own 40K BTC, 40K ETH, 20K Solana. Well, if there's no new money coming into the system, you're gonna have to rebalance. So maybe this is Bitcoin, this is Ethereum, this is Solana. Well, Solana, your 20K, it 2x. Now it's 40. And now you think Ethereum's gonna start running. Well, you can cash out some of this Solana, rebalance it, and now you've bought another 20K Ethereum. You still have 20K Solana, and now you have 60K Ethereum, right? Now your portfolio is worth 120K instead of 100K. So if you don't have new money coming in, you can rebalance your portfolio by trimming winners, you know, stuff that does really well. You can trim, you can add it to something that you think still has more upside in it. You don't have to just hold the coins forever. It depends how active you want to be managing your portfolio. Some people are just going to buy, they put all their money in their fucking coins and they're just going to hold it. And those people probably sleep better at night than most of us. And it's way more difficult. Like if you have 100K and you split it up into those three assets, so you've got your Solana, your ETH, and your Bitcoin. Let's assume that Bitcoin goes to 100K from here, and let's just assume that's a 2x. Well, now you have 80K here. So let's say Ethereum goes to 9K, which is a 3x. Now you have 120K here. And let's assume Solana goes to 500, and let's call that a 5x. And now you have 100K here. So now you have a $200,000 portfolio. You've 2x'd your initial investment without doing anything. Now, if you're going to do the rebalancing strategy where, hey, Solana goes up, and then I'm going to pour that Solana into here, and then Ethereum's going to go up, and I'm going to pour that into Bitcoin, or Bitcoin goes up, and I'm going to pour that into Ethereum, and you're going to constantly be rebalancing. Keep in mind that strategy requires a lot of work to manage and maintain and time the rotations, and it also runs the risk of what happens if after all that rebalancing, your portfolio ends up being 160K, right? So you rotate your winnings from Solana into ETH, and then from ETH into mid caps, and then blah, blah, blah. What happens if you just underperform if you would have bought and held? Sorry, this is 300K, guys. You're right. Sorry. And let's call this 260. Just whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is, if this is going to go to 300K without you doing anything, if you want to take the aggressive approach of rebalancing, you better hope that you can outperform your initial investment doing a 3x. Because if you can't outperform your position doing a 3x, then you just wasted a lot of time and stress and money only to underperform the market as well. Now, on top of this, depending on where you live, if you're not in Dubai or Costa Rica or fucking Bahamas or something, you're paying tax. So if you're buying 100K worth and then you're selling at a 3x, right, you're paying tax on the gain. But every time you sell Solana to buy ETH, and then you sell Ethereum to buy fucking some mid cap, each one of those transactions is taxable. So that's a whole nother layer of complexity with rebalancing your portfolio. So when we have a market that goes up as aggressively as crypto does, where Bitcoin could still have a 2x from current prices and is already up 3.5x from the low, are you talented enough and locked in enough and focused enough to actually outperform the market itself? I've said this tons in previous videos. My day trading last cycle, so where I was actively trading coins, underperformed my spot and Bitcoin and Ethereum buys from near the bottom. I bought from 6K down to 3K, right? I bought from like 200 down to like 100, pretty close to 80. And this gain where Bitcoin went to 60 and Ethereum went to like 4,000 was a bigger gain than what I made on actively trying to time the swings. Time in the market is almost always going to outperform timing the market, right? So it's very difficult to rebalance your portfolio effectively. Again, on Twitter, it's gonna seem like everyone perfectly exited Sol into Ethereum at the bottom, and then they perfectly bought all the AI coins at the bottom. In reality, most of that is bullshit. It's not true. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Doesn't mean you can't do it. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try, but perhaps you're better off having a hodl bag where you're like, okay, I've got my 50K and I'm just gonna hold my spot, and then with my other 50K, or maybe it's 75K here, and then you do this with 25K, and then maybe this I'm going to rotate and actually actively trade. Because if you have no new money coming into the system, the only way to get more coins, right, is to peel off of winners and rotate those profits into other coins that are then going to outperform the coin that you sold. That's easier said than done. But like, that's a super, super important topic for a lot of you, because I know a lot of people, you don't have $1 million or $5 million. Maybe you have 50K and you're like, well, listen, if I buy Bitcoin and you know, someone said that to me today, because I said, hey, I think Matic's going to go up. And they're like, that might only do a 5X. Well, for how much money I'm putting into Matic, if it did a 5X, that would be a massive success. But for you who might only have 20K, maybe a 5X isn't enough and you need to rotate it. What are you barking at? Everyone say hi to Order Block. Okay, so again, if you have a smaller stack and you don't have additional funds to put into the market, yeah, rebalancing might be something that you can do to try and increase your stack. But remember, you're trying to outperform the best performing assets of all time. So keep that in mind.